Welcome back to Couples
Goals?
Oh my God. One day I'll get it
You've
right.
only done this 11 times now, and
Couples
look how many
Goals.
chords we have on here. They're long chords.
Welcome back to Couple Goals. This is episode 11. And Christmas is coming up right around the corner.
We're literally
1 week away.
Yeah, today.
Yeah.
That's scary.
I know. It's another year done and dusted.
Have you been naughty or nice this year?
You can be the answer
I can be the answer,
to that.
or I can be the decider of
Decider of
that.
that.
Okay, you've been naughty, and we'll attend to that later. But we were just having breakfast. Crazy thing happened. Traumatic thing happened.
They put spinach on my plate. And if you've been watching the news lately,
Spinach is a big no-no.
spinach is totally out.
Popeye is going out of business.
So here in not just Queensland, I think it was in New South Wales, there's a particular farm that did something to their spinach. They sprayed it with too much stuff and people have been getting sick from
Like
spinach.
hallucinating, right? Or just
Yeah.
losing the plot?
Hallucinating and just getting really violently ill.
Now,
I think
depending
it
on
was-
where you live, you might like that. You might like the hallucinogenic side of things, but
It's not for me.
the average punter does not
Yeah, so crazy.
want to see a pink unicorn
It's not-
coming
Yeah.
out of their spinach.
It's not all spinach, but I didn't want to take the risk, so I didn't eat my spinach today.
And I reckon it's the first time I've said don't finish your plate of food. Potentially.
I know, it took all my strength not to.
On that, though, you had a pretty epic experience last week.
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Well, don't leave us hanging.
So I had a psychic reading, spiritual gangster coming out again. Yeah, I've been wanting to do one for a while. I think the last time I did one was like 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was at Crystal's
Or
house.
longer, maybe even like 5 to 7 years ago.
I reckon it was like, 2015.
Yeah.
Because we were still fairly new together. Maybe 2015,
It was a
16.
long time ago.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty cool experience. So, like, since then, I've been really interested in psychics and like how
You
the hell they
believe you're a psychic, though, don't you? Like psychic
know. No,
abilities.
I wish that I could be a psychic, but I'm not. But like, I think I said it in the earlier episode, our first episode, maybe, that when I was a kid, I think I saw a ghost. And I haven't really seen, and I used to see some weird things when I was a kid, but haven't seen.
Like what? What did you used to see when you were a kid?
So embarrassing. People are going to think I'm crazy.
Well, we'll be the decider of that, but give us some information to run
Just
with.
like my bed used to be up
a race
against,
car.
up against the curtains
Yes.
to the balcony. And then I used to see like these like orb things.
Orb.
Yeah. It looked like a lightning bolt going past my window.
Was it just Harry Potter?
Like blue, I remember them being blue, and I was like, "Oh, that's weird. Maybe it's some weird bug or something." But now that I think back and what I'm remembering, I'm like, I don't know what the hell that was.
Do you reckon that potentially you were eating spinach from this farm from an early age?
I know.
Could that have
it was
been a
weird.
possibility?
So anyway, I saw that, and then I saw the spirit, and so, but I haven't seen anything recently.
What were some standouts from your recent appointment? Actually, your last psychic reading was good because you've audio recorded it. We should actually play one on the podcast one day.
Or we could interview
A psychic.
psychic. Well, let's interview this guy. He's a celebrity psychic. His name's Daniel Hawken, and really interesting guy. So another artist put me onto him, and I was umming and ahhing whether I should do it, and eventually I was just like, okay, why not? What
What are you looking for when you want to see a psychic?
Well, that's why I was like, oh, I don't really need it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I'm not, fortunately, I haven't lost anyone who well, I have lost people in the last year, but not, like a family member.
Yeah.
So I just feel like that's why I was umming and ahhing whether I should do it. But they
But,
always
like,
say that you have a reading when you actually
Need it.
need it. Otherwise, it won't really align and work out.
You have a reading when you're needing.
Yeah. And so anyway, you have to go into it with take it with a grain of salt and an open mind.
But
Personally, I do believe that there's
a hereafter or something like that.
Yeah. You know, I'm not particularly religious.
Are you religious?
No. But I do, I do think that there's like a God energy.
That's me. Around you within a meter.
I don't know what that is. Like, I don't really put like I don't think there needs to be rules around that. And I just think that that's, you know, if you're a good person, you're here, your soul is here to better and learn. And I think that you're looking at me like with a smirk. Like,
no, I enjoy it because I like it.
Well, just from what I think. Yeah, I don't think
you're crazy.
think it's like, you know, the apostles and the, you know, Mother Mary and all that. I just think that it's like, I think there is a God energy.
So do you believe more in aliens or Jesus? Neither. Okay. So somewhere in between.
No, I think obviously there's organized religion.
Yes.
And that was probably a method to control people.
Yes.
But
that could be controversial.
Well,
should we say that? Should we say that on Make It a Reel? Is religion?
Well, I just think that, you know, yes, there is something, but it's been construed and, you know, changed over the many, many years. Or maybe it is that each religion does play a part in this universe.
I think they all got something in common, which is to control people. Nah. It's like, for some people, sports are religion. Like, pretty much they treat it like a religion.
Yeah.
And music's a religion. Like, people just have something that's bigger than themselves to believe in.
It?
Yeah. It's cult-ish.
Culture. Anyway, I do believe that there is, like, when you die, you go to another dimension. But I don't really see it as like, ooh, like paranormal scary. I just think that it's actually a thing that we haven't been able to, you know, it's like when
how do you track emotion?
Before we had telescopes, people were like, oh, this, you know, they didn't actually know. They just couldn't perceive it.
Yeah.
Because we just don't have the technology to perceive what happens when you die. So I do think there's something that we just haven't. It's like, I reckon it's scientific.
Do you reckon Elon Musk is going to create the hereafter telescope where you can look into that?
I don't know if it'll happen in our lifetime. But I really do think that it's just like another.
What do you picture that like next realm like?
I don't know. I literally think that you die.
12 virgins or whatever it is, the religious belief?
No.
Oh.
As I said, I don't believe in that. I just think that you are here to learn some lessons and
how cool would it be if when you die, you go to wherever you go to and like all your relatives are there?
Well, that's what they say. They are.
Okay, well, there you go. And you just like sit around a campfire and tell stories.
Well, I think there's like a few. I'm still trying to make sense of it. I mean, obviously, nobody knows, but from what I've like read and understood, is like when you die, you're greeted by all your family members, but then I can't work out how like reincarnation would work into that.
What is reincarnation?
When you die and you're reborn.
Okay, so right. So we just go from like Earth to Mars.
If you didn't reach your, I don't know, potential on Earth, or you have more lessons to learn, or you have a gift that you need to, the Earth needs, then you're born again.
On Earth?
To have like a second go.
Wow. So technically we're born again from someone else right now.
I don't know. Like that's a theory.
Whose theory? Yours?
There's a lot of religions that do believe in that. Hinduism, I think Buddhism. I don't know.
All the isms and more.
I'm not sure. Obviously, nobody knows the answers, but I do think there's something going on the other side. Not sure what that is.
We'll find out when we die. Hopefully not soon.
What do you think happens? Do you reckon we just die and that's it?
No, I haven't looked into it as much as you, but I think definitely something happens. I would like to believe that something happens. I think it would be fantastic if we woke up around a campfire and then like people that you know are there. And then you just lived your life without having to stress about work and money. Imagine that. That would be pretty fucking cool.
I don't know, like I think it makes sense that you just die and that's the end, like scientifically and logically, but yeah, there's so many people that have experienced things. I've experienced things myself, but
it's like, things you can't explain, like even the feeling of love. How do you track that.
Well,
It's just
scientists would say that's just hormones and release of hormones.
obviously, but like the energy. There's energy. It's like when I go close to you, I'm like aroused.
Oh my God. Lucky.
I'm joking for everyone listening. But, whereas you walk past other people and you don't feel the same energy.
Again, they would argue that's just hormones. Brain releasing.
Well, it is, but it's also like, what energy puts that off? Again, they would probably argue hormones. Fuck the hormones.
Yeah. But there are things that you just can't explain. And
What about, though, when you meet people for the first time and you're like, this person's awesome, and then you meet people
I know, intuition.
Yeah, like that's got to be a thing. If you trust your gut, what is that? Hormones? Or is that
I don't know. Or is it past just experiences?
Yeah.
And being wise and knowing like when someone acts like that, that's weird, or someone has those kind of mannerisms.
So maybe because I'm like such an old person with things that I do, maybe I died at like 90 something and I have all that wisdom and now I'm just...
Well, that's what they say. They say some souls are just more...
old.
Advanced, like they've been here a few times, they've already gone through it other souls, even if it could be someone older than you or someone...
But they're just still figuring it out.
Like their soul is still... Yeah.
I'll take that.
Is younger.
I'm probably... If you were a soul of someone who's passed, who would you be?
I don't know. God, someone who's passed.
I'd be Churchill, Winston.
Really? You're that wise?
I'm pretty wise. I've read a bit of his stuff, and it feels like I wrote it.
That's so funny.
Who would you be?
I don't know. I don't think that I would be anyone of note. Probably.
But if you had to be someone of note then?
Of note?
Yeah.
Who's passed? I don't know.
Amy Winehouse.
We were alive at the same time. So
yeah, okay.
Yeah, anyway, the psychic reading was crazy. At first, I was like, oh, I don't know whether he's like telling me anything that is mind-blowing or isn't on the internet.
Yeah.
It's hard. I normally like to do anonymous, as if I do it every day. But my preference would be to have an anonymous psychic reading, but it's very hard to do. So this guy knew who I was.
Could you go under an alias name, or would that just completely ruin the vibe?
I don't know. Like, it would just be hard to set up.
If they could set up a software where it's like you register, but they don't get to see your name until you...
There are, the first psychic reading I had, it was like a group setting. So I went to my friend's house, and
there was like drank beers and had a barbecue.
There was like 4 of us who were having a reading. So my friend actually booked it under her name, and then we just all went in.
He was good.
So it was a she.
Oh, she was amazing.
Yeah, she said some crazy things and so that was anonymous because...
Yeah, and a lot of that stuff happened or has happened.
Yeah, so...
Mad, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it was...
What's your thoughts on psychics? Do you believe in them? Have you had an experience with one?
Or do you think it's just BS?
Or do you think it's crap?
I just don't understand how they could possibly... Because as he went into it, he did say things that isn't on the internet. No one knows. Things that you couldn't even research in the amount of time.
Yeah.
Like...
Maybe some are real.
Oh, I think definitely
there's some cons.
Of course, there's con scammers out there.
Motherfuckers.
But that's with every industry.
What else has been happening in life for you? Give everyone the A-Shep update.
Well, we had our last show, which was the Christmas Carols here in Brisbane, the Lord Mayor's Christmas Carols. We got to sing 3 songs. So we sung Parumpa-Pum-Pum. Got my Parumpa-Pum-Pum. Little Drummer Boy, it's called. Then we sung our own song, which is called Christmas Without You. We wrote that song about our dad because we hadn't seen him in 3 years.
Mad.
And we got to perform it for him because he landed in Brisbane.
And I looked across at him and he was like...
He had the lip quivering.
the lip quivering, trying to not tear up. I was like, Greg, just go with it, mate.
Let it out.
Let it out.
Very emotional day. And then we got to perform the Slade song. I've already forgotten what it's called.
Anyway.
So here it is. It's called Merry Christmas, Everybody.
Boom.
So those 3 songs. It was lots of fun.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not like usually into Christmas carols, but they do such a good job. So Little Red Company put it on.
I went to one of their things last night.
Yeah, so they do a few things around Brisbane, and they did a fantastic job with the carols. I think it's just really.
Have you actually listened to the lyrics of a lot of Christmas carols?
Oh yeah.
Liam and I were sitting there scratching our heads like, what the fuck does this even mean? Like it's literally just like random sentences thrown together.
Well, it probably made sense, or it's from the Bible, or
That explains a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Christmas carols. Like I only went to support you guys, but normally I'm just like.
But it was really entertaining, wasn't it?
It was great. Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Christmas carols, I'm like the Grinch.
Yeah. So I don't know. We're not really Christmassy people. We don't have a Christmas tree here at home.
When we have kids, we'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll be Santa.
Okay. You heard it here first.
Yeah, you'll see it here later.
What's been happening with you, Lachie?
What has been happening? Christmas party central. We're going to our 3rd Christmas party in a row today.
Yep.
And then we got another one on Wednesday.
Do we? In Toowoomba.
Toowoomba.
Oh, yeah.
Timon and Pumbaa. It's been good.
Yeah.
We went to a show. I can't remember whether we spoke about it. I don't think we did. The Naughty Christmas.
Oh, it's
Did we speak about it?
a very naughty Christmas.
Yeah, Very Naughty Christmas. I can't remember whether we
maybe
did.
touched on it, but
I don't want to
quite-
retell the same story. I should have checked.
oh, I think you did.
Damn it.
Did.
All right, well, that's scratched off. I'll scratch that off my piece of paper here because
But anyway, for those who didn't hear it,
go back and listen to episode 9 maybe.
Yeah.
It's 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
What else is happening? I'm wrapping up work.
You got one more day?
Oh, 1.5.
1.5 more days.
I was meant to finish up, but anyway.
And what are you going to do? It's so funny I'm asking you, but we're going to be together. What are we going to do on your days off?
We haven't actually thought about that. I'm excited to
Just do nothing.
Yeah, I do want to read a lot. I really enjoy. So when you're asleep, when you're sleeping in, I'll spend like a couple hours reading. Got a few books I want to read.
What are you reading?
The next book I'm going to read, I don't actually know. I've got so many new ones over there. I'll probably read Attached, which is about relationships. But then I want to read some, I got one there called Living with a Seal. So it's Jesse Itzler. He's married to the chick from Spanx. What's her name?
I don't know her name.
Founded Spanx.
Yes, yeah.
He's a gnarly dude. But he's a huge public speaker and he just lives his life creating like fun games. He's like a fucking 50-year-old kid.
Fun games.
Like his whole brand and everything that he's created is he's just like created the world's biggest water slide. Then he hired
God.
David Goggins, so that book Living with a Seal.
You have too much money without telling me you have too much money.
But he created 2 companies and sold them to like Warren Buffett and stuff
my
by the time he was
gosh.
23.
And do you know, like Spanx is one of the
Yeah.
most successful
So
companies.
but he's not. He was already worth hundreds of millions by the time he met her. So he was a dude doing it. And then he hired David Goggins for a whole month to live with him. And for those who know David Goggins, like a fucking drill sergeant. And he just wrote a book about living with David Goggins for a month and it went number 1.
Wow.
He's done heaps of cool shit, but I'll read that because I think it's pretty awesome. And like he does things that I would love to do where he's like, instead of waiting for a Spartan race or whatnot, he just has food trucks and whatever rock up at him and his wife's house. And they have this massive hill and he calls it the 100 Hill Challenge. And so people, stress themselves physically, but then they have like bands there and kids events and all that sort of stuff. So it's like this whole day, but it's all built around like challenging yourself and whatnot. So I think it's sick. So I think that'll be a fun book. I want to read, I'll reread How to Win Friends and Influence People. Started that.
I've read that one.
It's a great book.
Good book.
Yes. And I don't want to bore people too much, so I'll finish there with that. But, and then I'll just, hopefully, we're going to Kingscliff.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Get some surfing in. That'll be fun.
Oh, I just need to be at the beach. I just really need a holiday. I think I said that.
I just want to disconnect.
The last three podcasts. But yeah, I just...
That's why also Toowoomba's going to be good because we can just be like...
Yeah, this whole year's been so busy with the 2 projects like Sheppard and the Amy Sheppard project. It's been non-stop. Even though we've been overseas, like I went to LA and Nashville.
Feels like
it's
ages
not a holiday.
ago. Yeah.
Like I was working every single day.
Yeah.
So I'm ready for...
And I think it's also... When you're a personal brand, you're literally every day working.
Yeah, of course.
It's like it doesn't stop. Because even when we're going to be in Toowoomba and stuff, we'll still be...
Have to do the reels.
You have to do stuff. You don't ever just like
Yeah.
fully switch off unless you're organised enough to batch it up, which, well, we're not.
But I need that. Like I need to switch off for a bit because I'm feeling a bit
flat, little
and I'm not
frazzle.
giving enough
To me.
energy to anything. Like it's just I'm half-assing it now.
Yeah.
So I need some time off.
Yep. Okay.
So anyway, hopefully you can do that over Kingscliff. But a couple of days is never long enough. Like you need at least a week.
At least, and then we go straight to Tamworth.
Yeah. Oh, January. It's next year's done.
Do you remember agreeing to that last night when you were a few rosés deep?
I wouldn't. I'm paying for you.
Yeah.
No, I never agreed.
I do remember you
I
going.
laughed.
You said, "That's fair enough. You deserve that." So Amy agreed last night she was going to fly me to Bali for a little holiday after
When?
Tamworth.
When do we have time to do that?
At some point we'll do it. Maybe even a 3-day trip.
Oh, maybe we should look into that.
Yeah, well,
should we?
your shout. Anyway, I had Drunken Sailor on Friday. Now, Drunken Sailor is a famous annual event where all the boys get together. And its intention is to...
Get fucked up.
Yeah, pretty much, but in a way where you get to meet... Because every year you obviously have turnover of staff and new people come in, people leave. And it's a good way to tell stories and get to know people, but you can also see and hear a lot about where people are actually at in their life. And obviously, we've all been young blokes at one point. When you're a young bloke, your testosterone... To the blokes listening, you've been a young bloke and you love swinging your dick because you think you're a big deal. And it's like you've just come out of school and you want to prove your point. So there was a lot of that happening. And then there's obviously the older people who are just like, have nothing to prove. It's like you realise where you're at, what you like doing, etc. So that was pretty fun. But you play this game and people judge, you tell a story or you tell a joke or you got to sing a song. And everyone will be like, it's either good, and if it's good, you only have to just scull half a beer. If it's not good, scull a full beer. And I'm not very good at storytelling. So I had to scull a full beer. And I've rocked up with a whole esky full of beer. And obviously they assume you're going to get drunk, and everyone's like, geez, Lachie, you're handling it so well. Like, you always talk about not drinking much, and you're still standing, you're not slurring your words, you're getting, topping up your beers. Like, this is quite mind-blowing. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself,
conning everyone.
Yeah, this is hilarious. Because what I did, I strategically did this. Bought myself a case of non-alcoholic beers, found a stubby cooler so I could cover the beer. And little did I know when I got my beer at the very top, it said Heaps Normal, which is like the non-alcoholic beer brand. And everyone knows that. So I had to hold on to the very rim of the drink. I looked kind of weird, but I never once put it on the table to just sit there because it just said 0% alcohol.
Yeah.
So I'm holding the beer like this, or if I need to talk to people or whatnot, I'd put it on the ground between my feet. And no one knew until the end. I was like, righto, who wants to lift home? And everyone's like, you can't drink. And I was like,
can't drive.
Yeah, you can't drive, sorry. And then I pulled the
you cheeky bugger.
coaster off and was like, suck shit, boys.
Oh, but you would have felt so good the next day.
I felt just so good after that because I thought I was going to get a lot of peer pressure, but I think preparation had me in the winner's seat.
That's good.
And the next day I didn't. But you came home pretty dusty that night.
I felt like a bag of
dicks. I thought you liked that feeling.
No.
Just one.
Just one dick is fine. Not a whole bag. Anyway, I actually feel like I have cut down my drinking. So when I did have a big night the other night, didn't even really think that I was having a big night, but I just...
You got home at what time did you get home? I didn't even wake up.
Midnight or 12:30 or something.
I think it was later because Linda said she picked you up around 12:30.
Yeah. So I caught up, and I wasn't out and partying. I just caught up with a friend who's been overseas. Haven't seen her for a while.
Yeah.
And she booked a restaurant because it's so busy. We couldn't get in until 8:30.
That's a deal breaker for me. Anything after 7, I know I'm going to be a cranky fucker, so I'm like, nope.
I know, and I did look around. I couldn't find any bookings. So I was like,
Damn
and I
it.
really wanted to catch up with it. So I was like, let's do it.
I was actually pretty stoked though because I got time by myself. I love that.
Yeah, but because it was at 8:30, 5 o'clock rolls around, and Kathleen, my sister-in-law, is like, come over for champagne.
Oh, little champagne.
Yes, I had some champagne.
You are privy to Arvo champagne.
I love me an Arvo champagne. That's me. And normally that's where it should end. But
it should.
This night then my friend was like, hey, like, let's catch up for a drink before dinner because it's not until 8:30. And so we went and had a drink, and then we got to the restaurant, and they're like, oh, our table's like it's just running a little bit behind. Go up to the
I got a
bar.
good question for you after.
And just go and get a cocktail while you wait. So I had a cocktail, which was actually so delicious. And then over dinner we had a bottle of – this is where the big mistake is, right? Over dinner we had a bottle of red wine. So, you know.
Naughty was a good wine.
It was really nice.
I got a question for you that maybe some women deal with.
Okay.
Or maybe don't deal with. How is it dating a man – full stop. No. That doesn't like party a lot.
It's great.
Because what was do you get frustrated with it if I don't want to drink and whatnot, or it doesn't impact you?
I prefer to be with someone who's not drinking at all because I'm not a real big partier.
Yeah.
Like I like to be a little bit social, but I don't actually like go clubbing and partying.
Yeah.
You know, I like to be finished by 9 p.m.
Yeah.
And I think we're the same in that aspect because it would just be the worst if you liked to drink all
Bend
night.
it like Beckham.
Like, no, that would annoy me way more than you not wanting to drink.
I just wanted to know for my own
It is nice
peace of
to
mind.
share a couple of glasses of. I'd rather us share a bottle of champagne or whatever.
I'd love us to share a 6-pack of beer.
I don't drink beer.
Yeah.
Ginger beer, yeah.
No, like gold tins.
Yeah, so that I'd prefer that than just going out with a bunch of people and
Getting shit-eyed.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same. It's too noisy. I sound old. This is my Winston Churchill kicking
old?
in.
I
think we're old. I just prefer, like, when I think about socializing, I used to love getting fucked up when I was younger.
Yeah, who did?
Because, like, one, you didn't know what you were doing, but you'd hope to pull a Sheila, and I was more confident when I was born.
And then when you wake up as a kid, you're just not even like.
You
I
don't
remember
have
having
a hangover.
Oh, you do, but then it's just like over.
You literally,
really
you go like 5 days, and you're like, oh, how good.
I
Now
know.
it's like I smell alcohol, and I'm like,
I know.
Golly.
So, and this time of year is just
hectic.
constant. So,
Yeah.
I would prefer to be with someone who.
I wish I could have a little bit more relaxation with it. Like I'm like, I think I always think about the consequences the next day, and sometimes I wish I didn't, to a degree.
Yeah, but
So
it's
I
like
could sink 100 tins one day.
you don't need to drink at every single event.
No, I don't.
You know what I mean?
I've done 2 in a row where I haven't drunk.
Yeah. And it's like you didn't really miss out.
No, you can still
there.
do the same. You still socialise. It's just when everyone gets a little tiddly, you're like, all right, my patience is wearing.
Oh, we left at a good time.
Yeah,
last
100%.
night.
Well, that's good. That's good to know. You don't hate me. That's nice.
I do like sharing a couple of drinks,
Yeah.
but that's in different scenario. Like I couldn't care in a party situation if you didn't want to have a drink.
Yeah, I find it.
But if we were to go out to dinner for a nice
Yeah.
date, then it is nice to share a wine.
But I don't like when you're in a loud environment, you can't talk to
Can't
people
even
anyway.
talk. Yeah.
Or you're yelling and you're like, oh, my voice.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'd rather have you guys around for a barbecue and get like a real nice bottle of wine or something.
Yeah, that's my vibe.
Yeah, that's me. That's me teed up. And then I'm tucked in bed by 8:30.
Perfect. I mean, 8:30 is a little early. That's
We went to bed at like 11 last night, right? So we get home.
But you were already asleep.
No,
so.
I know. But let me finish my story. We got home at, what time did we get home?
9:30.
Yeah, and Amy throws on a show. I was like, fucking hell, all right.
We need to watch that again.
Yeah, I know, 100%. I fell asleep. But I was like, fair dinkum, we've come home early, we should be going to bed. We got another big day. And Amy proceeds to put a show on. I wake up at 11:30 on the couch, and I'm like, all right, we'll toddle off to bed and go to bed. Then we get into bed, and Amy's like, I need to have my downtime. I'm like, what the fuck was the last 2 hours? Like,
is this your pet peeve?
No, but this was just mind-boggling to me. I'm like, you're going to be cranky as all buggery tomorrow. You're going to go, didn't get enough sleep.
And what did I say to you?
And I was like, fucking hell, man. Last night I was being Amy's voice of logic. I called myself the Vol.
Yeah.
The Vol is when I'm Amy's voice of logic, because she was getting a bit tiddly on her rosés. And Amy, we'll go for a nice dinner at 8:30. I want to eat really well. We're not going to eat any of this crap on the table, which was like chicken nuggets and pizza. And it was good food. I was having some as an entree. And then at like 7:30, I'm like, all right, Amy, restaurants generally stop serving around 9, probably before that. When do you want to go? She's like, 8. I was like, okay, just as your voice of logic, restaurants will shut soon. So your options are going to be very limited.
But I saw you guys eating all the food, so I was like, oh.
Yeah, but I was tying myself over. I eat a bit. And then it's like 8 o'clock. I'm like, Amy, voice of logic, I know you're enjoying your rosés, which is fine. Get on it. But you've got a choice now. You're at a fork in the road. You either get your food you want or you keep having your rosés. What do you want? And unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know, you went with the rosés for a little bit longer and we got home at...
No, I was just I didn't... I think I had 3 drinks last night. I was talking a lot.
Yeah, anyway.
But
you missed out on your food opportunity.
I did, yeah.
That's where I'm going with that.
Yeah. So, anyway.
You didn't have 3 drinks, though, because I know when you've had 3 drinks. All right. Anyway, that story's done. Pet peeves. Boom, boom. What's your pet
Bing
peeve
bong.
for the week?
My pet peeve is that you haven't made a pet peeve sound yet.
That's fair. Boom. Oh, well, I've got so much to do.
And that's your couple.
All right, what's my goal? Is to make
a sound
Right.
that we can play, or a button or something with a fun pet peeve noise.
Yep.
Like he's writing notes.
Pet peeve sound for Lachlan.
So for the next episode, we can play the pet peeve sound.
All right. Okay. If that's all I've got to do, then I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so my pet peeve is that we're not on a very good structure with this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I need a little bit of give for the podcast, for a bit of help, because I'm doing the editing, the cutting, the audio.
But I did say, when we decided to make this podcast, I said I will be on the podcast. You are editing it.
Yeah. But even trying to book in let me finish. Even trying to book in a time to do it, you like to leave it to the very last minute on a Sunday. They're due on a Monday. And it's like, we've got events on all afternoon. Mm-hmm. So then thinking that I've now got to edit it and make the reels and all that stuff and then have it ready for tomorrow. Mm-hmm.
But it's a good time.
Cutting it quite fine.
What's the time now?
I don't want to work on a Sunday.
Well, then maybe we should record on a Friday.
Yes, but trying to lock you down with your fucking eyebrow appointments, eyelash appointments and whatnot is like hard work.
Welcome to my life. I live a busy life.
Priorities is what I say. So,
and as I said, earlier in the episode, I just need a bit of a holiday because I feel like everything is like I'm half-assing everything, and I admitted that in the episode.
I know you did, but
so we need to batch record.
Yeah, or the way I look at it is sometimes
what
you just got to get things done. Because I've got a million things to do as well, as I know you do, but I do as well. Mm-hmm. So we just got to get them done. No excuses.
We haven't missed one.
No, but we got to get them done in a timeline. So then I have a leisure time.
You need more time.
Yes, I need more time.
Okay.
So I love.
So what's the goal? Sorry.
We're gonna do every Friday at 3 p.m. Can you commit to that?
Yep.
Every Friday at 3 p.m. So you guys can check in. Have we done ours? So if you've got questions you want to ask us, topics you'd like to ask, Amy and I are recording together every Friday at 3 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. That's Brisbane. And we'll get that done because then that gives me a little bit of time to just... Well, it gives me time to do it actually the Friday afternoon so I can chill out on the weekend. I think that's a good goal.
That's good because Sundays are for chilling.
100%.
All right.
Well,
that was episode 11.
Done skidoo. And remember, you can head over to our link in our Instagram bio. And in there, you can go over and give us a 5-star rating or review. What else do we have in there?
We want stories.
Yeah, we want stories from you guys, like relationship stories, bad dating stories,
psychic stories,
drunken sailor-esque stories.
Have you seen a ghost before?
Oh,
I want to know.
Even stories about your partner. Does your partner abuse the booze or does your partner control the booze? Give us anything, actually. We just want stories. Send them through. And if you want more exclusive content, actually, we have actually decided we're going to start spending a half a day a month to just batch record a heap of bonus content for Patreon. so that we get that done, because we do have a hectic, like, we've got 3 spare weekends up until May 15 next year, which is like pretty much the first half of the year is done. So we're going to be busy.
Yep.
If you got value, like, follow, share, subscribe, leave reviews, do all of the above. But thank you for tuning into episode 11 of Couple Goals.
Thanks, everyone.
Hooroo.
Hooroo.